Kung Fu Panda 4 was amazing. When the trailer came out, I was super hyped. This was my most anticipated movie of 2024, and I can't believe it was that great. The animation was spectacular. It's like, every time they make a sequel to another movie, the animation is always better than the previous film. It had so many funny parts that just made me bust a gut. Like these little bunnies who like violence. They turn creepy and it's just really hilarious. When DreamWorks Animation makes a sequel, you know what they're doing. Kung Fu Panda 4 is way better than Trolls Band Together. And especially better than Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate. Because that movie was absolutely horrible. The animation was so cheap, the plot was just unsatisfying, and a lot of the voice acting was terrible. Stay tuned for my analysis on the Megamind movies. Trust me, it's gonna be great. But let's get back to what we're really here for. Skadooshing and Dragon Warrioring. Now everyone prepare yourselves. I loved the beginning of the film, especially when Po and his dads reopened the noodle shop. It was nice to see some returning and new characters in this film. I love Jen. She's very playful and suspicious. Her character traits and personality, I feel like I've seen them before somewhere else, or maybe not. The restaurant fight was superb. I enjoyed seeing Po getting himself together again. I feel like the rabbits are being enslaved in this restaurant because they're being forced to work, especially being cooked in a tub. I love the villain and that she can shapeshift into like pretty much any character. Her abilities remind me of characters like Nimona and Maui because of what they can do.
Did they let you keep the old one?
Speaking of which, I really hope Nimona wins the Oscar for Best Animated Feature because that movie was fire. And I'm not kidding. Well, that or Across the Spider-Verse. Also, we got to see the villains from the previous movies return. Yep, Tai Lung, Kai, and Lord Shen. My reaction was just priceless. The experience I had blew me away. I saw Tai Lung coming back in the trailer. This is one of the biggest twists I've ever seen in a film. The other villains I didn't know they would be returning until I saw the movie. It's nice to see the previous villains of a franchise return for a sequel. That I wish majority of the franchises would do. It would have been nice to have all three of the previous Despicable Me villains return for the fourth movie at least. Shen and Kai remained silent for the entirety of the film. I don't know why they didn't want to get their voice actors back, but like sometimes they make lower budgets at this point. And I may have said earlier, but the Chameleon is great. She's not as good as other previous DreamWorks villains like Death or Titan or even the first three villains of the Kung Fu Panda franchise. But I will say that she is better than Trolls 3's Velvet and Veneer. I didn't have much respect for these two, but they're okay at best. In terms of characters, this movie is very questionable, like the absence of the Furious 5 until the end credits, but that's alright. Maybe the 5 will get a spin-off movie or a show like the Penguins did, but I don't know. Now it's time for what I think overall. The movie gets a 9 out of 10. I was originally going for 10, but then I realized some stuff and then I decided to change it. I do have a DreamWorks ranking on my Letterboxd account, and I'll tell you where I put Kung Fu Panda 4. It remains at 17th place above The Bad Guys and Turbo. I can't believe I've never said anything about The Bad Guys. I do want to talk about it on this channel sometime soon, but as of right now, that's not what I have planned. I am focused on Megamind right now, and I'm planning a review for both the first and second films. But for now, I gotta focus on my top 8 movies of the year video, which I still have to work on. But now that I talked about Kung Fu Panda 4, I hope the next 4th movie is better.